Broke at the border. The Department of Homeland Security chief says that two critical groups who work directly with border and immigration cases will be broke in a matter of weeks. That is, if Congress doesn't approve President Obama's request for almost $4 billion. Special correspondent Kai Jackson joining us live tonight with the reason we're just now hearing about this. Kai.
Friday.
Okay, because there's been some people asking, and
Oh, good. Yeah.
This
Often center around your money, but some critics are saying if DHS was in such dire straits, why did it take the president and Secretary of Homeland Security this long to ask for money?
At the current burn rate, given the capacity we've had to surge to deal with this issue, Immigration and Customs Enforcement will run out of money in mid-August. Customs and Border Protection will run out of money in mid-September.
That's Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson recently with a message almost verbatim to one he delivered before Congress earlier this month. His repeated claim about going broke came just days after President Obama sent an emergency request to Congress for $3.7 billion to help with the immigration crisis.
The recent rise in illegal migration requires a sustained, aggressive campaign by our government.
We decided to dig into the budget for ICE as well as Customs and Border Patrol. According to the Department of Homeland Security budget reports on its website, the budget for Customs and Border Protection increased almost $700 million over last year. The budget for Immigration and Customs Enforcement was basically flat from 2013 into 2014. But DHS has not explained how ICE and Border Protection could be broke by the time the government fiscal year ends, except to say that the surge of immigrants starts in April and May, a crisis that some members of Congress say DHS knew about well before then.
So given these facts, how do you justify this request as an unforeseen emergency supplemental requirement?
I think that, number one, border security is a big problem.
Vernon Herron is a senior policy analyst with the Center for Health and Homeland Security at the University of Maryland, Baltimore. He agrees border protection is important, but says it's one part in the big picture of Homeland Security.
As we're having this interview now, there are cells throughout this country who are planning and plotting where and when their next attack will be.
Experts say while protecting the homeland is critical, the federal contracts that exist were never intended to be a lifetime infusion of money.
I understand that at some point, local jurisdictions will have to take up the flag themselves and fund their own homeland security needs.
We asked the Department of Homeland Security how this year's budget was spent to the point of almost being broke. Our emails and calls were not returned.